excavations in Germany in 2008 and 2009 revealed a bone flute that has been dated to 35,000 years old. If this is true, then it suggests that art, creativity and music has been part of our human behaviours for longer than agriculture, architecture, indeed most of the things that we associate with civilization. It could therefore be argued that creativity exists on a spectrum of human behaviours somewhere just above eating, hunting, and indeed even creating shelter. This is the case even today, when you get a group of people together at a barbecue, at a pub, at a dinner party, chances are you can take out a mortgage-sized loan to bet money on the fact that music's going to be part of the scheme of things. It could be that it's just quiet music in the background, or that it's so loud that you can't do anything other than dance, or it could be that the music is coming from someone who's had far too much to drink and has suddenly decided that they are the best singer in the room. There is no doubt who the best singer in the room is today, because I am lucky enough to be joined by one of Australia's most talented sopranos, Tania de Jong. Tania de Jong, welcome and thank you so much for allowing me to interview you today.
Pleasure. Lovely to be here.
Making the time is, of course, something that you seem to be an expert at, because not only do you work with Creativity Australia and work with some of Australia's largest corporates, you also own and operate Music Theatre Australia and get work for Australia's top performers, and you still perform yourself with Potpourri. What on earth do you do in your spare time, Tania?
I don't sleep. That's the key. Really.
That's the key?
Yeah, it's not a very balanced lifestyle.
Now, Tania, it's no shock as to you being one of the youngest recipients of the Order of Australia Medal, and as a result, there's a couple of things that I'd like to talk to you about today. First of all is your work with Creative Innovation, the conference where you get the leading thinkers from the globe together for 3 days, and it's happening this year in November. Tell me about that.
Well, Creative Innovation 2011 brings together 35 of the leading speakers, thinkers, artists, leaders from around Australia and the rest of the world. So we have 8 international speakers this year, which is incredibly exciting. And they range from the incredible Raymond Kurzweil, who's one of the world's leading inventors. He founded the flatbed scanner, the synthesizer, speech-to-text recognition, all these sorts of things, and he's also the founder of the concept of singularity, which basically says that by the year 2045 our human brains will have merged with computers. And we also have Edward de Bono, the founder of the 6 Hats creative thinking technique. We have Brendan Boyle, partner at IDEO and an associate professor at Stanford University's D School, which is a design thinking school. We have Paddy Miller, an expert on change and innovation, called the Innovation Architect from Spain. We have Daniel Dennett, one of the world's leading cognitive scientists and philosophers. And we have Tan Le, incredible technology entrepreneur who's invented a headset that reads your mind.
Oh my goodness.
And who else? Stephen Heppel, Professor Stephen Heppel, incredible education technology guru who talks about education for the future, as well as, Simon McKeon, Australian of the Year, Michael Rennie, the head of McKinsey. It's like, yeah,
a who's who.
It is an incredible lineup of people under one roof. So it's incredibly exciting. The theme for this year, Rod, is the challenges and opportunities of a super connected world. And I guess one of our goals is, it's a cross-sector conference, so the goal is to bring together as many people across different silos and segments of our marketplace as possible. So from business, government, industry, SMEs, not-for-profit sectors, etc. And people from not only all over Australia, but New Zealand and Asia. There's delegates already registered from all over the place. So yeah, it's certainly going to be a melting pot and a wonderful place to challenge people's thinking and get people into a new paradigm for a new future.
And this is not the first conference that you've run?
No.
This was the second, third?
It's the second conference. So last year we ran a conference and the theme was Imagine If, and we had Edward de Bono, Edward Luttwak, an excellent advisor on defence, Austin Williams, incredible architect from the UK, and many other wonderful people.
What were some of the outcomes of that? What were some of the things that you could point to and say it was a fantastic success because?
Well, firstly, from a sort of media acclaim perspective, we got a write-up which, I said best conference ever, because the format of the conference is also highly creative. So we have artists and poets and composers and designers and thinkers in residence who really help to break up the way that people think. So usually at a conference there's a lot of talking, of course, and everyone's in a fairly left-brained headspace often, and this is about getting the right side of our brain, our creative, imaginative side going too. But a lot of people who came to the conference gave us feedback that it was a moment in time that they will remember as a turning point.
Wow.
That it changed their thinking, that they felt inspired to go back to their workplaces as change makers rather than waiting for change to happen. It's that old saying of Gandhi who said, be the change you want to be.
Yeah, one of my favourite sayings without a doubt. Yeah.
So this is, one of the things about the conference is it does inspire you to take action. And also you do meet an incredible range of people from different, sectors who you would never normally get to meet. So interesting connections happen.
The other initiative that I wanted to talk about was the Creativity Australia initiative, and particularly the One Voice choir work that you do. Fantastic work. Could you please tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, well, with the One Voice program, that's part of Creativity Australia, which is my social enterprise, which I founded 3 years ago. And we bring together executives, employed people, doctors, teachers, lawyers, accountants, retirees, with unemployed people, with migrants, with people who are suffering from some kind of disadvantage. They may have mental or physical health issues, whatever it happens to be. They're marginalised in society in some way and often isolated. We bring them together in choirs of social inclusion and diversity to celebrate their uniqueness, but to come together in harmony as one voice. And our goal is essentially to inspire people to find their voice. So we use singing as the tool for transformation. But our goal is far greater than just singing together. Our goal is actually to change people's lives and the way that they think about other people. So that in the choirs, you can be having the crappiest day and you walk in and you see someone who's, an asylum seeker off a boat, or someone who's been searching for a job for 4 years, and you start to realise, gosh, I'm so lucky, and a lot of the corporates in the choirs mentor and help unemployed people with their CVs, help with connections for them to get work experience and jobs. And generally it's a real hub for just well-being and understanding, tolerance and joy, building joy. I mean, singing is a very joyful thing to do. So as soon as you start to sing, your neural pathways do change.
Without a doubt. I can remember being lucky enough to see the choir in action recently, and I also saw the story of the gentleman from Afghanistan tell his story.
Yes.
So, and there must be, it seemed to me like there was many stories in the choir about
There's
that.
many incredible stories. I mean, the guy from Afghanistan, an asylum seeker, his 5 sisters are in hiding in Pakistan. He took a lot of photos of Afghanistan before he left. He's a very well-known young photographer, and one of his dreams was to create an exhibition of Afghanistan showing Australians what Afghanistan was like beyond the war and the repression. And so he got introduced through the choir through the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre, and as a result of that I introduced him to the GM of the Sofitel Melbourne, and he was engaged on his merits to launch an exhibition. It launched actually a couple of weeks ago. Fantastic. And the choir helped to raise all the funds to enlarge his prints and frame his photos. And but there's others, who've been job seekers who've been searching for jobs for 4 years who we've helped hook up to work. And often it's just about really understanding and celebrating difference and going, yes, people are different, but that's what makes them special. we can't all be the same, you know.
Which leads very neatly into my last question, Tania.
Yeah.
We obviously face very difficult times. There's lots of problems to do with, things like poverty, corrupt governments, population, sustainability, all of these sorts of issues, skills shortages, resource shortages.
Fragmentation of society.
And therefore people trying to escape where they live and go and live in other countries, all of these sorts of problems. What is it that the work that you do, how does it help? What has it got to offer?
I think really what it comes down to is giving people a sense that their voice is being heard. So both at the conference and with the charity, it's a sense, again, it's that thing of if we can inspire people to find their voice, to really unlock their potential as human beings. It is said that we go through our lives with a lot of our music unplayed. So if we could unlock more of the potential of human beings through the work that we're doing, then they're going to feel a lot better and they're going to be able to help a lot of other people. You know, it is a known fact that you can only help people as much as you're feeling good yourself. So the more that we can help people to find what they are passionate about and feel that they're making a difference, then they can make a difference to others.
Mother Teresa is often quoted as saying, and I think it might be a misattribution, but nonetheless it's a pretty powerful quote, that when I look at the mass, I cannot act, but when I look at the one, I cannot not act. And so I think that's some of the fantastic work that you do, is to be able to help people one at a time deal with those sorts of issues.
I think that's true, and maybe I'll leave you with my favourite quote, which is by a man called Rabbi Hillel, who said, "If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? And if I'm only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when?" So I say, go forth and conquer now. Do not wait another day.
Tania de Jong, thank you very much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. And once again, thank you very much for your fantastic work.
It's a pleasure.